Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to do a preview of the mother of all battles, that is India versus Pakistan Part 2 Asia Cup 2022 Super 4 stage. As we know that India won a cliffhanger in the first game, and although Pakistan didn't have much of an incentive, they went for it and made life very difficult for India, and their bowlers, especially Naseem Shah, stood out. Now in this game, we will first of all analyze Team India's chances. As we know that our top order is not firing currently on all cylinders, especially KL Rahul. There has been a lot of chatter about his place, but I think that he's a class player, he's a class batsman, and he needs to be given chance, because as we know in the pecking order that he's the vice captain of the team, and one or two failures doesn't put that place into question. Although there are growing noises about inclusion of Rishabh Pant in place of KL Rahul at the opening slot, which isn't a bad idea. But as we know that this current team management under Rahul Dravid and Paras Mamre don't really care about the outside noise, and they have a set template which they have set months back, and they will back KL Rahul to the tilt. And it is a good thing, as we know that KL Rahul's form when he's in full flow is unquestionable, and we have to give him some leeway, because as we know that he had a sports hernia injury in Germany, and when he was all set to make a comeback to the West Indies tour, he got COVID, so his comeback was delayed. Unfortunately, he couldn't set the stage on fire in the Zimbabwe tour as well due to lack of match practice, but that happens, and this is a bad phase which any cricketer goes through in his career. So we need to back KL Rahul, and there were a lot of unnecessary trolling and hate comments towards him. So I request people to stop that. He will definitely come good this match. As far as the form of Virat Kohli is concerned, we know that he is back in form. Although the 35 of 34 deliveries in the Super 6 match against Pakistan was patchy, he showed his caliber against Hong Kong by scoring 59 of 44. Now many people will question the ability of Hong Kong, but we have to understand that the runs under the belt are very crucial for any batsman, and the half century will do his confidence a world of good. And for as far as Rohit Sharma is concerned, we know that his approach has been very great, and it has been very surprising and pleasing that he goes all in the first power play. It hasn't come off in the first two games, but when it does, he can single-handedly win the match in the first 6 overs while batting. That is the ability of the hitman, as we know. So no need to overanalyze the failures of the openers in the couple of matches. They will surely come good. Middle order is in safe hands, as we know that Hardik Pandya will come back to the side. He was rested against Hong Kong, and it will be interesting to see if Dinesh Karthik finds a place. A lot of voices for the exclusion of Avesh Khan as well. I think though the team management will stick to him, but even if they don't, it is a good idea because he is under the cosh. If he is dropped from the side, he will be clearly communicated by Rahul Dravid. That is his style as a coach, and the same style he employed while he was the captain as well. So Ravi Bishnoi comes in, or Ravichandran Ashwin comes in place of Avesh Khan. That will be interesting to see. Or if Avesh Khan is a drop, how he will perform, because all eyes will be under him, because not only the first couple of matches in the Asia Cup, he has struggled quite a while in the ODIs in the Zimbabwe as well towards the death, and the West Indies series as well. He has been quite expensive. His economy rate is over 8.5 runs per an over, which is unacceptable at the death overs. If you are bowling like that consistently, remember that he was included in place of Mohammad Shami, who didn't had a very bad IPL. He bowled particularly well in the power play, and also Mohammad Shami was decent in the death overs as well. So it will be interesting to see where selectors take this debate, and if Avesh Khan is aptly communicated by the management, and it is a problem for a plenty for selectors to select either Ravi Bishnoi or Ravichandran Ashwin. By terms of experience, we should go in with Ravichandran Ashwin, but by current form, we should go with Ravi Bishnoi, because he has bowled wonderfully well in the fourth and fifth T20s, as well as the limited opportunities that he has got while representing India. So, and Hardik Pandya's form and Surya Kumar Yadav form has been a positive sign. Both are game changers, and both will be needed in this mega clash as well. In case the top order doesn't fire. I hope that doesn't happen, but we have ample of ammunition towards the lower down the order to make up for the lost runs if we lose wicket at the top. As far as our bowling is concerned, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is in great form, and we look to continue his nice stride, nice rhythm, and he's getting swing both ways. As we know that he surprised Babar Azam with a short ball, which was his undoing in the previous game. So it is good to see him. Many people wrote his obituary last year because he wasn't performing to his potential in the T20 World Cup. But after IPL 2022, he has redeemed himself during IPL T22. He redeemed himself, and we are showing that, and he's showing that he's the second most important bowler in this team behind Jasprit Bumrah. As we know that Bumrah isn't playing due to injury, and Arshdeep Singh's form is also a matter of concern. But I think I had mentioned in my previous video, if the push comes to shove, the player that most likely will be benched is Avesh Khan, because Arshdeep Singh has at least shown great control with the Yorkers towards the death bowling. So it promises to be an enticing match. And as far as Pakistani team is concerned, Babar Azam form is a thing of a worry for them, as we know that their top order is very top heavy, and if the dismissal of Babar and Rizwan or any one of them occurs, there will be tremendous pressure on the batting order, which is in the middle. They haven't been tested quite a lot due to the fact that either Rizwan or Babar Azam consumes a lot of deliveries. Now, although such approach works, sometimes in big games it doesn't as well. Rizwan copped in a lot of criticism for his 43 or 42 deliveries, which was eventually detrimental to the Pakistani cause of setting a big target for India. And yes, Babar Azam is a class player. I hope he doesn't come good tonight. But even if he does, our bowlers have to find the way to contain him. Fakhar Zaman has also found his confidence after scoring 53 of 41 deliveries against Hong Kong. He is always dangerous. He had showed his ability in the 2017 Champions Trophy final, so it will be foolish to write him off. And Khushdil Shah has also impressed one and all in this year's Pakistan Super League as well, and as well as the last game against Hong Kong. Although he disappointed against India in the Super 6 game, more is expected from him, and he is a star of the future. And Asif Ali hasn't batted a single delivery this tournament, and it will be interesting to see if Indian team, or for instance any team, get into the opening, they just run through the top order of Pakistan, then what will be the mettle of shown by the middle order. It is a very fascinating idea, and I hope they held their own, because the standard of PSL, although it is very good, it isn't comparable to IPL. So the level of international bowlers that they face are going to be quite difficult. Coming to the Pakistani bowling, it is in absolutely safe hands. Shadab Khan getting a 4-4 against Hong Kong. Mohammad Nawaz has set the stage on fire. He flies under the radar a bit. I think he's not appreciated. Excellent bowler, and lot of eyebrows were raised when he was selected instead of Imad Wasim, who is quite an experienced campaigner, but he has proved his worth and critics wrong. 3 wickets in both the matches, and his performance against India was particularly pleasing. Great technical action, great flow when he delivers the ball, and he's a thinking cricketer. Doesn't And he has a big heart. Isn't afraid to toss the ball up after being hit for a six. It was the same template that enabled him to get out Rohit Sharma as well as Virat Kohli, two big scalps in world cricket. Not only limited to India-Pakistan rivalry. So it will be fascinating to see how he performs. Naseem Shah had said that he might be ruled out with injury, but once again he set the stage on fire against Hong Kong, delivering a couple of knockout blows to over 7 runs, 2 wickets. So yes, a new star has been added in this Indo-Pak rivalry, that is Naseem Shah, and Haris Rauf. A lot is expected from him as well, although it will be interesting to see if Babar Azam completes his quota of overs, because he has a lot of option at his disposal. So all in all, it looks like another engaging contest on the card, and the team batting, winning the toss, should bowl first. Although in India Pak matches, I have this theory that batting first is also not a bad option, because runs on the board always work. So it will be fascinating to see how this goes. I'm hoping India to win. India starts at favorite, as rightfully so, and hope to it to be a cracker jack of a contest. So how did you like my analysis of this India Pak Super 4 preview? Please tell in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everyone, bye. I was sweating, I don't know why.